My name is Heather Jesvold, and I serve as the treasurer on the Madison City Council PTA. And I would like to introduce Teddy Powell, who is the incumbent for Madison City Council District 3. Thank you, Mr. Powell, for taking the time to speak with me today.
Hey, Heather, I appreciate you doing this, and thank you for your time and everybody else that is out looking at this and sees this. Thanks for taking a moment of your time just to be involved.
To get started, can you tell me what specific issue or reason motivates you to serve on City Council for Madison?
So the main reason I want to serve on City Council, we've done a lot of great things in the last 4 years. So we want to continue that momentum without having any major disruption. But on the personal level, I've raised my 3 kids here. They went to Madison City Schools. We're invested in the city. We're invested in the district. We've spent a lot of time here, and now it's time more than ever to keep the comprehensive plan that we've set in place in regards to the school and trying to control growth and match it to residential versus commercial and continue our great economy. Again, we've accomplished many things in the last 4 years, but we need to continue that forward, and just another 4 years will put us in so much better shape and really set us up for future generations.
Thank you. The next question is, what is your strategy to ensure city growth aligns with your long-term vision and keeps pace with Madison's resources?
Sure. Again, talking about strategic growth, that's really what this administration's done. Our schools are the main reason people come to Madison. That's just the reality, and we have to protect Madison City Schools just as Gulf Shores will protect its beaches or Aspen will protect its ski resorts. I mean, that's the reality. So, what have we done to do that? We're trying to balance growth. We've got to balance the growth of businesses against the growth or commercial against the growth of residential. And it is a balancing act. We continue to have the #1 schools, and this city council, for instance, we put in the growth policy. We follow that growth policy. We've not annexed anything larger than 3 acres. There were developments that were made before we were here. So we've slowed the growth. We haven't stopped it, but you can't stop it because, if you take the sales tax revenue that comes in the city of Madison, in the top 5, 2 of those, actually even in the top 3, 2 of those are building products. So we have to have that income, or you take that income out and see if you can survive on the other 3, and it's just really not, it makes it even more difficult. But the things we've done to support, of course, was a 12 mil property tax, which 70% of the people agreed on that, overwhelming. And that's unheard of in the state. That's only happened twice in our state's history, and that was both here. So we have to continue to balance that residential commercial growth through commercial, through support agreements that we've done. That reduces the high density neighborhoods, kind of through the zoning, and just keep keep a check on that growth, work with the school board, the schools, give them the information they have, they share the information they have, and we continue this plan instead of, we all need to be in the same boat, rowing the same direction. If we're in this boat and there's water coming in and one of us is not bailing it out and standing on our seats or sitting on our seats, and we're not going to get the water out. So we all have to work together.
As a follow-up to that, how would you ensure that our schools are resourced for success?
Okay. That's a difficult question. A lot of times people have a misconception that the city or this, the city council even controls the finances of the school board, and we don't. We have separate budgets. I'm on the finance committee. So first of all, that's the first thing to understand. So the school board controls its destiny there. It controls its own budgets. But, so how do we do it? How does Madison contribute, the city? First couple of things is, the city has to bring forth the tax issue. So once it was determined that, hey, we need to build these 2 schools, we need X amount of dollars, we take that to our state reps, they get it on the ballot, and we have this overwhelming success of 70%. That was one way. Another way is, what came out of that is we got 2 new schools. We got a middle school and we get an elementary school. That's going to reduce the number of students. So to help with that, what's not in the budget sometimes are infrastructure, turn lanes, for instance, something simple, red lights. Those are things that come out of the city budget that we don't plan for, but we do that to help the schools. The other thing are SROs, school resource officers. That comes completely out of the budget. All their salaries, all their benefits, every bit of that comes out of our city budget. And we plan for that every year. So those are some just a small number of things that we've done. But, one of the things that I was directly involved with is on the finance committee. We worked with our finance director, worked with the schools, saw that they had a potential to get a lower rate. We took that to the bond market, lowered their rate, and got them a check cut for $1.1 million to use any way they would like. Again, that's their budget, and they get to use that money any way they would like.
Right. Thank you. The last question is, what message do you have for Madison families during this very unusual time in our history?
It's not just an unusual time in Madison. It's an unusual time throughout our nation. But it's not anything we've not seen before. We've been here, we've done this, and we're a strong nation, we're a strong state, and most importantly, we're a very strong city. And there are things that we've overcome before. I mean, just as our little town, when we started out, the gentleman across the street from me that kind of really helped get the school board started, Don Spencer, he fought to get the school board started, and nobody told us we could do it. He did it. They did it. Same thing with Huntsville. Huntsville wanted to annex Madison at one point, and there was a big push to have annexation happen, and we would have been part of Huntsville. But the people before us fought that, in our history, and we're our own town. We're 50 plus now. We're 50,000 plus residents. So, the other thing is school growth. We've seen school growth before, not to the capacity we've seen, but it wasn't managed then. We're managing it now. So I think part of that is to let people know we've been here, we've done this. We just have to look back and see how it was done before and what we can learn from that. And, with all that said, the thing to remember the most is right now, Madison is ranked, number 1 place to live, number 1 place to buy a house, and number 1 place to raise a family. And none of that's by chance. That's by what this council and this administration has done. It's about hard work with the schools, with business leaders. We need to continue that positive momentum without any kind of radical disruption and maintain that strong, experienced leadership that will carry Madison forward. That's why I got involved. That's why I want to stay involved. And, we will get through this.
Thank you. Once again, Mr. Powell, I appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with me today.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys, and good luck to everybody.